Get a quick bite of oatmeal here. Okay, we're good. Hello Internet, this is Olin from What I'm Listening To. I hope you all are continuing to stay safe, stay healthy, keeping those hands nice and clean, and continuing to wear that mask when you're going out in public. I am once again here in an undisclosed room at Amoeba Music, and today I'm actually not going to be talking about new additions. Instead, I'm going to be talking about bands that my coworkers are in. I am surrounded by tons and tons of talented people here, and naturally everybody who works here seems to be involved with some sort of musical projects, whether it be playing in a band, being a solo act, DJing, whatever you have it. They play music in some capacity. So today I would like to take a moment to highlight some of the many projects that some of my coworkers are involved with. Now before we dive in, I will say this will be kind of different from my other videos where I exclusively talk about CDs. Unfortunately, not all my coworkers are as enthusiastic about CDs as I am, so some of these albums are going to be released on CD, on vinyl, on cassette, but that's okay. We have quite a mixture of things here. The fact that they were able to still release something physical is really cool in my book. And most importantly, they are all insanely good. So let's waste no more time and dive right in. And the first item I have for you today, I have The Umbrellas' self-titled album. I talked about this album in another New Editions video a while back, but just to recap a bit, The Umbrellas are an amazing jangle pop band featuring my two coworkers, Morgan and Nick, along with their two other friends, Matt and Keith. Their whole goal was to make music that had this sort of Bay Area, San Francisco vibe, which I think they perfectly achieved on here. But they're also indebted to the multitude of twee pop and other jangle pop bands out there that each member is obsessed with. And what's even cooler is they are now signed onto Slumberland Record, who released this album, which is their debut album. And Slumberland is best known for releasing works by bands like The Lilies, Black Tambourine, and The Pains of Being a Pure of Heart. And since releasing this album, The Umbrellas have been experiencing a ton of success lately. They went on a month-long US tour with the band Destroyayaya. They've been featured in a ton of write-ups, and this album has actually made a lot of people's best albums of the year lists. And truth be told, I'm really happy that these guys are getting so much attention because it is well deserved. I'll leave a link to their Bandcamp in the description below where you can buy this album on CD, vinyl, or even just the digital version. And I'll also leave a link to their YouTube channel where you can check out their music videos and subscribe to them to support them. Shout out to The Umbrellas. Great band here.
Impressionist fields surround you, and all decisions turn out blue. Stay away from old cliché.
Next up, I have a cassette by the band The Snogs. This is their album Charmless. It seems pretty appropriate to follow up The Umbrellas with this project here. Though not quite as well known, still an excellent band nonetheless. The Snogs is a project fronted by my coworker Ross, who makes these very lo-fi sounding rock songs that sound almost identical to the band Beat Happening. Rough, whimsical, yet very poppy. Their style is something to behold because they really try not to take themselves too seriously. Instead, they just treat making music in a very laid-back, silly, wholesome sort of way. Something that's pretty refreshing if you ask me. Though Ross is the only mastermind behind the band, the rest of the members are a collective of friends and local musicians to the Santa Cruz area. They even claim that the band has never performed with the same lineup twice, just to keep things interesting. This is one of the band's few albums. I believe they have 2 or 3 released, all of which are really solid. You can either download a digital copy or buy a cassette version on the band's Bandcamp, which I'll leave a link to down below. Great stuff here if you're into lo-fi twee pop. Definitely recommend checking them out.
Well, Sally walking down the street. You don't know what I do, so she walked right up to me. She said, I got a boy, cause I got so annoyed. And I want to quit, but I know I would destroy him. Well, Sally Walker, what can you do?
Straying into more spookier territory, next up I have the band Stress Dreams. This is their EP, Maggie. Stress Dreams is an amazing post-punk band fronted by my coworker Kiana. Unlike the sunnier sounds of the Snogs and the Umbrellas, this band is far more dark, meaner, and a lot more discomforting sounding. I think their song Birthday really sums up their style with the line,
Happy birthday! I won't be there and I hope you don't have any
fun. It's the best track on here, in my opinion. As of this recording, this is currently the band's only EP. And it's a short listen, being only 14 minutes, but still phenomenal nonetheless. The digital version of this album is currently set to name your price, so if you wanted to, you could technically get it for free, but I would throw Kiana some money because I think it's worth it. But if physical copies are more your drive, then you can buy a cassette version on their Bandcamp, or you can come on into Amoeba and we have a couple copies in stock. Whichever you're feeling, there will be a link to their Bandcamp in the description down below. These guys are honestly so cool. I think Kiana is a brilliant songwriter. She's got something really good going here, and hopefully we can see more music from them in the future. I'm not sure, but until then, I will be listening to this on an endless loop. Diving even further down into darkness, next up I have the band Funeral Chant. This is their album Dawn of Annihilation. Funeral Chant is an excellent black metal band that my coworker Doc is a member of, and these guys mean business. Not only do they sound evil, but they look evil. Donning corpse paint, all black clothing, skull necklaces, and mean looks, they are sure to conjure up some sort of evil spirit while they play. They really just go to show that the metal community is still alive and well in the Bay Area, despite their promotion of death. They released a demo album back in 2017, then 4 years later they graced us with this, their debut studio album. And you can tell by just looking at this that this is going to sound brutal. Growls that echo from the pits of hell, blazing fast tempos, and squealing guitars that almost borderline make them a black and roll band. And the best part is this album is available in multiple formats: CD, cassettes, digital, and 2 vinyl variants. So if you're looking for some fantastic new black metal, then check these guys out. Link to their Bandcamp will be down below where you can listen to it and pick whichever one you want to buy, or buy all of them. I don't know, support them somehow. Okay, moving on to something a little more upbeat. I have right here Combo, and this is their album Destroyayaya. That's actually what it's called, Destroyayaya. This project is wild. The mastermind behind it is my coworker Michael Cruz, who I think is a creative genius. He's been involved with a multitude of other projects over the years, like Fish Breath, Plunk 67, and the Michael Cruz Society. And he's also a filmmaker with an amazing YouTube series called The Michael Cruz Show. Combo consists of Michael on synths and vocals, along with the Umbrella's very own drummer Keith. And together they make synth punk inspired by video games, science fiction, monster movies, and an assortment of other oddities. Currently, this is the band's only album, which honestly sounds like it's from another planet. It's wild and weird sounding, but tons and tons of fun and very creative. You can get a digital version of the album for free on their Bandcamp, or buy a cassette version also on their Bandcamp, which I'll leave a link to down below. Definitely give this album a listen if you're looking for something off the wall. It's incredible.
Reality has raped me, but sound waves have saved me. A super, a duper, a good time, my time. Super Seguh.
Staying on the topic of weird, the next album I have is by a band called Toyota. How am I going to do this? This is like taking up all of the screen. Toyota is a weird project consisting of 3 out of the 4 members of the Umbrellas, Keith, Matt, my coworker Nick, along with their 2 other friends Oliver and my coworker Dylan. The whole concept behind the band is combining technology, product growth, business, and punk rock all together. Sounds strange on paper, but somehow they actually make it work. And because of this, their music sounds very robotic, angular, and rapid sounding. To me, they kind of sound like a futuristic version of the Minutemen. This is currently their only full-length album, which is available on vinyl, as you can see here, or digitally. They also have a handful of other EPs that are available digitally or on cassette. All the links to those things are going to be in the description down below. But something also to mention about Toyota is the label Discontinuous Innovations, which released that album, but is also helped run by some of the members of the band. They actually also released the cassette versions of the Snogs and Combo and tons tons of other amazing Bay Area bands. They mostly specialize in cassettes, but their catalog is also available digitally if cassettes aren't really your thing. I'll leave a link to the Bandcamp page down below too, so you can check out their catalog. Everything they put out is well worth listening to. Big shout out to Nick and Dylan and the rest of the members for being super talented and making such a weird sounding record. This is well worth checking out.
Simple can be done, say of the art. Who needs the words when the gadgets are smart? Salesman is dead, who needs them anymore? When all I need comes right to my door, these modern conveniences make life so seamless.
Alright, we are down to the final product here, and this is the thing I'm most excited about. This is the band Blythe, and this is their demo tape. Out of all the bands I have talked about on this video, these guys are easily my favorite. They're a trio with all three of their members, Jack, Cassidy, and Zach, all working at Amoeba. They just recently formed in the summer of 2021, but they have been playing a ton of shows around the area lately, so they're slowly making a name for themselves. And their sound is sort of a mixture of punk and grunge, so it's very fast, very abrasive, murky sounding, yet extremely melodic. Stuff that I'm a total sucker for. As of right now, this demo tape is the only thing that has recordings of their music, but it still sounds excellent. No joke, I've probably listened to this thing hundreds of times already, and I'm still not sick of it. And from what I hear, they're currently writing more material so they can do a full-length album, which I'm hyped for. And if the rumors are true, then that album just might be the thing I'm anticipating the most. But until then, I highly recommend checking this band out. A link to their Bandcamp will be in the description below. They are so very cool. And if you happen to be in the Bay Area, then go check out one of their shows too. You won't be disappointed. I also need to give a quick shout out to Zach, who's a member of this band. He's in a DJ duo called Sealed with a Loving Kiss, which specializes in dub and reggae. A link to their Instagram page will be in the description below too, so you can go follow them and try to catch one of their sets too. Alrighty then, internet, that does it for me. Big shout out to some of my coworkers who were able to provide me with the cassettes and CDs and vinyl that you see here just so I could make this video. If you like what you saw and want more similar videos, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll show me the support and I'll love your face for it. And you can also follow me on Instagram for even more music. I post a new album on there semi-frequently, talk a little bit about it, and it gives you a bit of an insight of what else is in my collection. So, thank you all so very much for watching. This is Olin from What I'm Listening To, signing out. Goodbye.
I understand that you just had some laser eye surgery, hence the goggles. Or
30 minutes ago, I had 3 people pressing things really hard into my eye, staring at lights, and getting tape peeled off my eyebrows.